latest is the Metropolitan Police are investigating an allegation of fraud. eBay have given us a statement which reads, they've told us that as soon as they were made aware of the scam, they contacted the police and the Job Centre Plus, who they asked to vet any future similar ads. Now, there is some good news for Cara. eBay and PayPal are not going to be chasing her and any of the others for money. So, I mean, that's one good thing.
That's big news for her, though.
I'll tell you what you don't realise here. When the camera went off, poor old Cara broke down. She cried her eyes out there because she can't afford this money, and she was really worried. You know, she's an honest, decent person. She was just panicking, you know.
So she doesn't have to pay anything now?
She doesn't have to pay a penny, you know, which is I'm really, really pleased about.
Well, as you say, really good news for Cara there. But what's your advice then on spotting these fake job adverts? I mean, I guess lots of it is common sense, is it?
Do you know what? You hit the nail on the head there. I always say to people, if you smell a rat, there's a very good chance that you're actually dealing with one. Now, there are some certain things you should look out for. They might sound obvious, but people do fall in these traps. Make sure someone's got a landline phone number. You know, if you apply for a landline with BT, they vet you very, very thoroughly. Mobile phone numbers, any Tom, Dick and Harry, any age can go and buy one with a number in a shop. If it's only a mobile phone number, I'll be very, very cautious. If they're premium rate numbers, 070s and 090 numbers, be very cautious as well. Try and get a face-to-face interview with somebody. They're offering you a job, if possible, say, can I meet you? I'm not talking about a cafe down the road. Try and go to a place where they're working, you know. And also, some jobs will actually ship you the goods and then you ship them out. But it really does boil down to use your intuition, use your common sense, you know, and hopefully you won't get done.
But I guess it's very difficult, isn't it? Because you feel very vulnerable when you're unemployed, you're looking for work or something like that.
Oh, of course. I mean, and as you know, and as an actress, I've been unemployed, you know, several times. I mean, I had to do all sorts of jobs, and some of them were proper dodgy.
Yeah. What's the worst?
Like what?
Can you mention it?
I worked in a holiday camp, which is no longer around, I have to say, to those people who love holiday camps, and I know most of them are fantastic.
Yeah.
But I worked in this holiday camp, and I cannot tell you what went on in the kitchens. On a Wednesday.
Yeah, you're going to tell us.
On a Wednesday. We used to make rice pudding.
Yeah.
And I used to watch Went On, and I had to serve it to the tune of girls, girls, girls. And people I'm not can't say it, that actually wooed in the rice pudding.
Oh! Let's move on very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, thanks, Dom. Brilliant.
It's Thursday. Cool.
Now then, yesterday we were all moved by Pauline Prescott's story of the couple who turned to a surrogate mum to help them have a much longed-for baby.
Tonight, she returns to Glasgow to take up the story as they all prepare for the birth.
Corey, who is 6 weeks old, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous. Have you had much reaction then since we showed the first half of your story last night?
Oh yeah, for texts and emails and phone calls, and really, really good. It's been positive.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm guessing that life is very different with three.
It is. It is. It's fabulous, though. Fabulous. We just love having a baby in the house again.
Yeah. Well, Tanya, you were very open in the film there about talking about your concerns initially when Corey was born about not bonding, and this is something that lots of women, you know, if they even have those fears, talk about.
Well, I suppose in one way I look back now and think that's quite funny to think for the probably first day or two, I didn't believe he was our baby. And I think I had such strong feelings of detachment during the pregnancy because I was frightened of getting emotionally attached to him.
Hello.
Gorgeous.
Oh, he's so lovely. So Nikki was the surrogate.
Yes.
You know, and Nikki's quite involved in Corey's life at the moment. Do you know whether that is going to change? Do you think she'll always be there, or do you think the situation might alter?
I think we'll always have a relationship with her. I don't see how we couldn't. She's given us this miracle baby, done a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Such an incredibly selfless thing to do, isn't it?
Completely selfless.
And do you worry at all that her feelings might change a little bit? Because she's very supportive at the moment, but that she might...
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all. No. She's always been really, really positive about the fact that Corey's not her baby, ever.
Yeah.
She's got 4 girls. What would she want? Another one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Denise, would you ever consider using a surrogate? Had you ever had trouble having children?
I would have certainly considered using a surrogate. I wouldn't be selfless enough to be a surrogate, and I just think it's such a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. But I have one of my best school friends has 2 little girls from a surrogate mum, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to her. So I certainly would consider that. I think people, I was lucky enough to have two children, and I can't imagine people going through how awful it is to not be able to have a child. I know you have the 2 boys as well, but I would certainly encourage it. Yeah.
But much to all of you, honestly, for making the journey down from Glasgow. Corey, then loving the lights now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Staring up there, isn't that gorgeous?
He looks very happy there now, doesn't he?
He's a beautiful boy, he really is. Now,
Thank you.
violence this week in East Belfast has shown that a few people in Northern Ireland are reluctant to put deep-rooted prejudices behind them.
Yeah, but 60 miles up the road, two sides of another city are being brought together in unity by a bridge.
Anita Rani reports from Londonderry, or Derry, depending on your point of view. On Saturday.
Yeah, now we've got loads to ask you, Denise, but first of all, we've got a message from a one-show viewer. Here we are.
Here's a good one for you. Ask Denise about the night that she offered to make me a meal when we first moved into this house, and she used to have to walk past the pan rack in the kitchen. Not so good.
He was going to say something else then.
Go on.
So what's the story then?
Listen, I've made no issue of the fact that I'm not the best cook in the world. I don't really like to do it. And I see the kitchen as somewhere where you open wine.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And when we first moved into that house, which was about 10 years ago,
Yeah.
apparently, I walked into the kitchen and said, I'm going to make something to eat tonight. Where's the pans? And I'd walked past a pan rack that had been there for 3 weeks. And I'd never seen it full of about 1 million pans. And I just have got selective sight in the kitchen. So that's what he's on about. He's the cook, so he does the cooking. If I try, my two boys just do that bless face when I put it down in front of them. Oh, bless.
Well, hopefully supper will be ready when you get home.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for the
You
question.
can shuffle along the kitchen enough to do it.
It is a shame, though, that he's not here tonight,
It is
because you
a
are
shame.
both starring in this new radio documentary.
Well, it's a play. It's Radio 5 Live's first ever radio drama. And it's called Don't Cry for Me, Maradona. And Tim is playing Sir Bobby Robson and I'm playing Lady Elsie. When I say playing, it's a tribute playing to them. We're not actually doing impressions of them. And basically, it's a drama which is written, and it comes after the wake of the famous Maradona handball incident, which of course devastated Sir Bobby Robson and people all over. But really, this play is just a testament to Sir Elsie and Sir Bobby, and it just takes place on a picnic, and it just really shows how their love for each other and how she coaxed him out of his depression after it happened because he felt responsible. He thought he might lose his job, and it's just a very endearing story.
Yeah.
And he's always been a legend in the North.
Oh well, for us, isn't
Yeah,
it? I mean,
exactly.
but for everybody.
Yeah, and since he's died, I mean, he's become a national treasure, really, hasn't he?
Do you know? And I think the reason is, Matt, I think it's just because he was one of life's good guys. I think there's no more explanation for that. He was a lovely person, and he was lovely to the people that worked with him. Nobody had a bad word. Paul Gascoigne, we're friends of the Gascoigne family, who in fact we were with 3 days before he died when he did his final appearance, and they wheeled him in his chair onto the pitch at Newcastle. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house, but he was like a mentor in a Gascoigne, and he was, as I say, was a lovely person. And on this day, our little boy Louis luckily got to meet him just before he died.
And as you said, they were a devoted couple, weren't
Totally
they? And I mean,
devoted,
we've got a clip here from Sports Personality of the Year from 1997, and he speaks so wonderfully about Elsie. Here we are.
I let her thank my wife, Elsie, who stuck with me for about 52 years. Without her, I wouldn't be what I am. It's
Oh, her little face, and obviously that was 2007.
She's been very active in the making of this drama as well.
Has she?
Yeah, that was important to me that she kind of
Yeah.
was
Was it quite difficult for you, though, with her obviously being so close to it and you playing her?
Well, only when I knew that she'd sort of said that she loved the piece, and it's just a little slice of their life, but it was on Tuesday and it's on again on Sunday night at 6.
Brilliant, there you are, you just heard the trail, Radio 5 Live. Now, nothing says nature more than the sound of bird song, but throw in a pile of squawking gulls and it's a whole other story.
Yeah, now let's face it, they've got a bit of a bad boy reputation, especially when they pinch your chips. Like this fella who was spotted in Bricklington Harbour in Yorkshire with one wedged in his mouth. There he is.
Denise is wincing away here, but Mike Dilger meets some people in Devon who aren't so keen either. For 40 years.
Really?
40 years too long?
Fun,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I don't mean that.
Obviously not a fan. Are you, Denise?
No, I'm scared of that. I have to say I'm not a bird lover. I'm a bit. I don't mind them at a distance, but I don't like them. The thought of one in the house just freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Tippi Hedren.
Special one
You've
for that
got a
one, isn't it?
seagull story as
Yeah,
well.
have I? Well, I bought a little punnet of prawns and I got attacked by a seagull from behind. I didn't know it was coming in. Bang! We wrestled for a little bit, and then I thought, oh, have him, see ya, and off it went.
Just leave it go. No.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the seagull. Anyway.
No, not at all. No,
Only if they poo on your head, and then that's lucky. And I had a run of luck when one did that recently.
Oh, really?
So I shall be found running along the beach
There are
at Bickley Bay whenever I'm having a bad run.
Don't me. Anyway, thanks ever so much for coming along. You can listen to Tim and Denise in Don't Cry For Me, Maradona on Radio 5 Live this Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yes, I'm here tomorrow with Chris and the style sensation that is Gok Gwan. We will see you at 7 o'clock. Have a lovely evening.
It's a good job he's not here tonight, otherwise he would never have Anyway, say goodbye, Tim. See you later. There he is.